Hey YouTube, welcome back to another video. It's still Sunday. So I went by Walmart. I got some Mobil 1 oil, race oil, and then I got the deeper 2001 oil filter. Seen that on Facebook on one of the groups and seen that deeper filter, and I was like, hey, what's the part number on that? So had to go grab one of those. But yeah, I checked the oil whenever I drove the 07 the other day, and it's a little over full and it's smelling like some gas. So it's time for an oil change. She's been running rich, and I don't want to fuck up the engine, so it's time to do oil change. So I'm about to drain the oil out into the pan and brake clean it off and swap the filter around, fill her up, and I'll keep you guys updated as I go, so y'all stay tuned. Alright you guys, so I just got the oil all drained. I've just been letting it drip. I've got the drain plug here. I sprayed it on brake clean and got it all wiped off and cleaned up the rubber O-ring for the seal. And normally I brake clean off the oil pan, but since I've painted it, I'm just going to wipe it down with the rag. But how I do the drain plugs to keep them from leaking, I just use some RTV. So I'm going to put some RTV around there and get that drain bolt tightened back down, and then I can move on to the oil filter, which is right there, and get this oil change done. So y'all stay tuned, and I'll give you guys another update here in just a few. Alright you guys, so I've got the drain plug is RTV'd and back in there. So now I've moved the drain pan over here so I can get to the filter. So I'm about to grab my filter wrench. It's right here. I'm about to pull this filter off. It's pretty easy, so get this filter off real quick. Oh, come on. Damn, maybe I put that on there a little too tight. I put it on by hand. Oh my jeez. Whew. Alright, oil filter is off. So, let that drip for a few, and I'll wipe it all down, spray down the subframe and the control arm with the brake clean, and go ahead and get this new filter on here, and then I'll give you guys another update. Alright, so now my phone's a little more charged up, got some light. So got the old filter off, got everything all nice and cleaned up, sprayed down the subframe with brake clean, got my new filter on there. I made sure to dab my finger in the oil and rub it on the O-ring before I put it on. Just hand tightened it. So now we're pretty good to go ahead and fill her up with this oil. They said I got the 15W50 race proven oil. It says it's guaranteed for 15,000 miles. So that's pretty cool. But I think this oil change, I had the same oil, and it's only been like a couple thousand miles and it's already full of gas. So this ain't the cheapest oil, but it's alright. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing topped off with the oil, and I'll give you guys another update before I start her up. Alright you guys, so got everything back together down there. I was about to add the oil. I didn't bring a fucking funnel with me, so I had this old antifreeze jug, so I cut it up and I made it into a funnel. So Get this all nice and filled up. Oh yeah. I'm gonna let that finish draining into that. And I'll give you guys another update here whenever this gets done. Alright you guys, so all back together. I'm gonna attempt to start up. Actually, I need to let it off the jack. Almost forgot. Super handy. Okay. Now I can attempt to start up. Woo! She fired right up, baby. Phone's dying again. Ah, it sounds so good. Gotta put everything back in the trunk. Gotta take everything out to get the jack. But that's alright. Oh yeah. Alright, so let that sit for a minute. And then I'll check the oil level, make sure everything's good. And I'll give you guys another update. Alright y'all, so car's been sitting for like 10 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and check the oil. Yeah, just above full, but looks much better than it did before, so that's good. Well, hell yeah. Help keep her nice and healthy and live a long life. So, guess that's going to be it for now. So, y'all stay tuned and keep you guys updated. Alright, y'all. So, I've got to move the 07. So I can work on my mom's car. Ooh, hold on. I got some flash. Man, I got inside. It was sounding really choppy. Damn, it's smoking like a motherfucker. Alright. Well, like I was saying, I gotta move the car so I can pull my mom's car in there in the driveway. Alright, so now I gotta move this thing into the driveway so I can, oh, damn oil jug. Yeah, I gotta swap out this other crank sensor. I did not know there was 2 crank sensors on the 3.4. And so I've done changed the crank sensor behind the crank pulley twice now on my mom's car, and it's still throwing a code. And then, as you can tell, these wires, it runs from the coil pack on the top side at the back of the engine down, and this sensor is bolted right in the back side of the block. And a lot of times this wire, see, like right there, it's a little bit frayed. If it'll float, there it goes. Yeah, it's a little frayed right there, so I have to tape that up. But and I need to check out and see if the wire is damaged on my mom's car. And if it's not, then I don't know, then it's probably just the sensor. But it could be the wiring, it could be the sensor. So this one was a known good working setup, even with that wire right there being a little melted. It doesn't look frayed, it just looks melted. So I know it was a known good one, so I'm just gonna swap this whole thing out. It's 110mm, and that's it. So I'm gonna get this sensor swapped out on her car after I get it pulled in here. So y'all stay tuned. I'll give you guys another update. All right, y'all. So got a car in the driveway, got the hood popped. So that sensor plugs in. Oh, it's on this side. Okay, I plugged it right here on the side of the ICM. Yeah, right there. And it looks like it runs into the harness on this one. But normally it just runs down the back side of the engine. So I don't know why it's running through this harness, but I'm going to unplug those and get that sensor out of there. I'm probably going to have to at least turn this wheel all the way to the right so I can get back in there. But I got to get this thing out one way or another. So y'all stay tuned. I'll keep you guys updated. Alright, you guys. So I just started digging into this, and I just unplugged this plug right there from the ICM. And it is completely melted and just broke. So I've got to find another plug for that, which I don't know if I even have any here. I think I took all the harnesses to the storage. I might have one. Oh, bam, here's some harness right here. Cool. This is a Grand Prix harness, but I'm sure I've got a... I can't even tell if that's the same plug or not. That's it right there.
Come on, you fucking hop up on my leg. Fucking chill, I fucking there bedding and shit. Fall up on my fucking back. Chill on my fucking leg.
Pirate status. I had hand fed some of the peacocks at the zoo when I worked there when I was younger, but they just kind of, they follow you if you
Damn.
They knew you had food.
All right.
They wouldn't be like coming up chilling on you.
Let's see if that plugs in. Let's make sure there ain't no chunks left in there. Can't tell.
Driving down the fucking turnpike, you know, going towards fucking Claremore.
Oh,
Coming back.
yeah, looks like she's gonna need another ICM. Okay, I've got to figure something out because I didn't bring all these tools, so let me figure something out and I'll give you guys another update. Alright, y'all, so I have another ICM, and that plug plugs in. So I have to rob this. Oh, there's not even an insulator on it. Where'd that other plug go? That one, it's got the same size insulator. Be nice if I had both hands. But the tripods are at the storages, so. So, bam, there we go. That works. Hey, Calico Kitty. You doing, pretty girl? Alright. So, that will plug in. Bam. Alright, so now I've got to figure out the 5.5 millimeter to get the coils off of the ICM so I can swap the ICM, because I didn't really bring any of my small sockets. So I think the smallest socket I have is an 8. So let me figure something out and I will give you guys another update. Alright, you guys, so I had to run back over to my storage and grab a bunch of sockets and a couple of ratchets because I needed the 5.5. So you see, and I unplugged that one plug and it was just completely fucking melted and mutilated. And I don't know if I showed it or not. But yeah, here's the plug. I cut it off. It's just completely mutilated. And then there's also chunks stuck in the ICM. So I had to swap out the ICM. And then I had another harness over here. So I cut it off. And found me another plug. So we've got that old one cut off. We're wiring this one in now. Got some brand new thing of electrical tape. So that will fix that plug. And since I swapped the ICM and we're getting that wired on, then I'm going to hook it back up and start it and see if it runs any better than what it was before, or if it's still sluggish and misfiring. And if it's still sluggish and misfiring, then I'm going to go ahead and swap out this crank sensor and this whole wire, and it just plugs in on the ICM right here and just runs down underneath that crossover and rear manifold, and it's just one 10 millimeter bolt. So hopefully this was the issue. And then whenever I cut off that plug there, Tommy stripped back the wire and it was all green and corroded. So that was probably the issue. So I cut it off further down and stripped it, and it was nice clean copper wire. So stripped that plug and we're getting it hooked up, and hopefully that fixes the issue. So y'all give us just a few and I'll give you guys another update. Alright, y'all, it's all back together. Let's see if it runs any better. Oh my god, it fired right up. Still kind of making some noise though. Well, it ran already, but
Not very well.
I mean, it seems to run a little bit better. I need to run that check engine light.
Still kind of hear that metallic.
And see what that check engine light is. It's probably for that crank sensor. But
it fired right up.
It did. So I don't know, maybe I'll clear the code and let my mom drive it around for a few days to see if it runs any better for her or not. And if the code comes back for the crank sensor again, then I'll swap the crank sensor. So I guess that's going to be it for this video, you guys. So y'all like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for the next one, and I'll catch you guys later.